going to be doing a lot of stuff for the Mandalorian costume today. Behind me is a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to be using. I'm not going to go much into detail at the moment of what I'm going to do. There's a lot of background noise behind me, so I'm just going to have voice over me take over. I have cut out a strip of craft foam to be able to make the pieces for the belt. Now at this point of the making process of the belt, if you were a cosplayer who's been doing this for a while and actually can afford to buy the fancy gadgets needed to cause different texturings and stuff and shaping and forming of different stuff in craft foam, you would get out your heat gun. But if you're like me, who's been doing cosplay for less than a year, is a cheapskate, and has to use anything she has lying around, you grab your hairdryer. Funny enough, I now have a heat gun and I wish I had one sooner. So, yeah. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make this pretty much do what you do with a heat gun. And then with this tinfoil here, I'm gonna kind of crunch it up a bit because the belt is like leather. I'm not gonna put too much texturing in it because it's relatively smooth, but this looks too much like craft foam and I want it to look more like leather. So to be able to do that, I'm using tinfoil and heat. So I'm gonna do that. So here I am just heating the craft foam over and over again in the same place to make sure it gets really warm. It needs to be warm to the touch, but not so warm that say, like for me, if my carpet started to smell, that meant I was going over the same place too much. And then I would press and dab and kind of roll the tinfoil around on it to make it look how I wanted it to. So we get that leathery look, which apparently is a really hard word to say. I didn't know it would be that hard. But yeah, I decided to do it in fast mode. Right, so I am done doing that. I'm not gonna show what they look like because it's hard to see on camera, but they do look more like leather, so at least it'll satisfy you. You don't have to take that step if you do not want to. I just realized that. So what I'm going to do now is, so I have these two gloves. So like with the gloves for the Mandalorian, they're either very dark navy blue or black, I can't tell, but the only black gloves I have, I can't, Red Knight's going to use them for his Jawa costume, and I need to use those for in the future for my Winter Soldier cosplay, because I made a Winter Soldier arm. And so I have these ones. I don't even know if they fit my brother. I am hoping and praying that they fit my brother. But he's not here at the moment, so I can't check. But I can't glue or cut or paint or tamper with these gloves, the gloves themselves. So that has caused some problems for me. So what I'm gonna do is with the little panel, like bit of armor that he has for his, there's probably a better term for this. My brother is probably going to get mad at me for saying the term wrong, but the little wrist rocket thing, so like the little bit that goes on the glove, that armored bit, I'm just gonna strap on to the glove. And I don't know what I'm gonna do for the yellow bits. I might not do the yellow bits. It really just depends. But I can't afford to buy any more, like any gloves, because this little project of making being in charge of everyone's costumes for Halloween is getting kind of expensive, and that's, no, I don't like spending much for cosplays. I didn't listen to myself. Bam, new gloves. I need to form the larger part of the armor, so like it goes around the glove. So I need to form that. I'm gonna do the same thing I did with belts, only like I'm gonna heat it up and then form it and just like kind of hold it here. So that's what I'm going to do. Here is basically the same process as the belt. I'm heating the bed of craft foam and then wrapping it onto my hand. And I'm sorry that you can't see things very well. I didn't know that you couldn't see. And here I'm actually gluing the belt bits together. And I cut out little bits of scrap craft foam to make the little pouch that Mando has on his belt. And actually it looked really good in the end. I was surprised. Yeah, pretty surprised by that. I wasn't expecting such good results. I mean, it can't hold anything. You can't like use it as an actual pouch. I mean, like, I don't know, I guess you kind of could, but yeah, here I'm just gluing it on. And I'm just making sure, even though I'm not my brother, I was still seeing if it could get all the way around with it all glued how I had, because that just gave me an estimation of how much buckle I had to create. That's the buckle right there. I also cut that out previously, and I'm going to paint that one silver. Look what I just got in the mail! This is the way! I don't know if you can hear me very well in this mask. I don't know. This is the Mandalorian helmet for my brother's Mandalorian costume. I mean, the visor here is kind of broken. Or is it over here? Oh, no, it's over here. I can barely see a thing out of this thing. So, but I can see. I can see. It might actually help if I wear my contacts. But this is the Mandalorian helmet. I am so happy. It's here. It's not even for me. But it's here. Yeah, I kind of have to keep my head cocked like this so I can actually see. Like, hello. But yeah, and I think it was custom made. Like someone, maybe like a cosplayer or whatever, made it. Cause it's definitely not machine made. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know. My mom ordered it for me for my brother. But yeah, this is the helmet. Yay! Hopefully the rest of the armor looks just as good. So this is my, this is the mask I've been working on for the Jawa costume that I've been working on. And the eyes are rather straightforward. I just got some clear cylinder caps and I painted the inside yellow. And then I use, you know, some standard cheap Christmas string lights, indoor lights, that are powered by this battery pack. And then I just put the cap and the lights, about 3 per eye, into like set on top of the caps for contacts, because you know, those little contact containers, if you take out those caps, they work perfectly for this. And then I just duct taped them, and that's kind of where I'm at now. So this is what they look like on the eyes do. I think they look really good. It looks even better on camera, to be honest. But now I have to cover up what lights will be showing on the mask. The rest will just hide in his robe, so I won't really have to worry about that. But I'm gonna hide these with some electrical tape. Back to the gloves for the Mandalorian, I have put some paper tape onto the little metal part that goes on the gloves. I'm not going to try and figure out what they actually are. Wrist rocket things. Or like the pressure plate for it, I don't know. But anyway, I painted that, and you take it off, and it's like, you know, shape of a triangle. I'm doing this very dramatically. Or carefully. Technically, I took it off when the paint was still wet. You should not do that. Don't be me. Don't take off, because see, like you'll see here. Yep, I'm trying to get rid of the smudge that I have created on the thing, and then I changed to the other side so you can see. Also, my dog got this one, but you know, it gave it battle damage. I don't know why I'm being silent here. I could have been saying something, but I didn't. I am happy with how these turned out. Even though it's not supposed to be on me, I'm still wearing them because I think it's flippin' awesome. So, also it's when let me try to turn this off. Here is the template for the vest drawn out on the fabric, which I'm about to cut. Right, so now that you have your fabric cut out for the vest, what you need to do is, I've already done this, I already done the folding, but you need to kind of fold it. One side should have more folded than the other, because if you're like me and one side accidentally slightly longer than the other, then the other one should have more folds. But that's okay, it makes it look more realistic. Fold it. I'll quickly show you. What you have to do is, whoop, it's kind of going on crazy, is you just bring a bit of, not like that, you bring a bit of fabric, find where you want it, kind of fold it over, like so. Make sure it looks okay in the front, so you kind of flip it backwards, like that. And then you flip it back the way you want it. And not the way you want it. Flip it back to the back, pin it in, and continue on until you have like a old-fashioned washboard kind of pattern here, because it looks like a washboard. And now that I have, but when you have it all looking like a weird washboard, what you do is you lie it out like that, try to make everything aligned, line everything up, which is kind of difficult. More difficult than I thought it was going to be. But the creases of your shoulder bits should be nice and flat down. So for me, one side is longer than the other, so I have to keep that in mind when I am aligning everything. But make sure the most important, crucial bits are lined up. Mostly because that's where you want to be sewing, on the sides. Once that's all lined up, you go get some pins. I forgot my pins, so I'll continue recording this as soon as I get some pins. I just want to say, pinning it this way is so difficult. Like, sewing wise, it is a pain. But I'm not the best expert of sewing, so if any of you guys know how to make it work better than what I have done, please let me know. But definitely make sure all the folds, front and back, despite what I might have said before, make sure they match up with each other, otherwise it's just going to make sewing so much more difficult. And make sure you actually have enough cut out. I made that mistake. And these are the pieces all cut out and spray painted for all the silver bits. This is the belt so far. I haven't glued anything on, like, except for the pouch. All of this not glued on. But I didn't notice until looking closer, but he actually does have like little hip plates that are connected to the belt. So I'm gonna go and hot glue all of this on, and then the belt will be completed, because I have painted the belt, and I know at the moment it kind of looks black, but compare it to that, it's not black, it's just a very dark brown. So yeah. Finally, I'm gluing all the pieces of the belt together, and I'm doing some corrections. Like with the belt, I used Velcro, 2 bits of Velcro on both sides, and then trimmed it up so it can fit better on the buckle, so that it can easily be Velcroed to each other, like both sides. And honestly, it worked really, really well. Yeah, definitely with the Velcro with the buckle so that it looks better. And this is with it all glued together, all of it, and from different angles so you can kind of see. And yeah, I think it looks really good. So I drew out this template. I'm gonna actually draw larger than the template. And out of FOMO, I have created this piece which will go on top of the left gauntlet made out of FOMO. It's kind of messy, but that's okay. Can clean it up a little bit. And yeah, so just need to cut this out. Here's just another view of that piece, and that's with it all glued on. I used thinner craft foam on top for details, and that's the second gauntlet. Also note that this is during fall time because I made these costumes right before Halloween, so this video is very late. Right, now that I've created them, it's time to spray paint them with this funness. The Jawa robe is super straightforward. Basically, you cut out a piece of fabric kind of like this. You make it like you have the person lie down, kind of have their arms out in a T shape, trace around that. Make sure you have lots and lots of room. This thing is meant to be baggy as heck. Like it should be super baggy. It's not supposed to be form-fitting, and it's okay if it drags on the ground. Actually, in fact, the more the merrier. So this is all cut out, and then so you only have to sew on those sides, and yeah, it worked out great. And the hood is made out of the little triangle bit that comes off from when you cut out the sleeve in that area, and you just sew it together. And now here's the big reveal. That's the finished Jawa, and this is my brother and his Mando. He doesn't have his helmet on yet. And of course, you can't have Star Wars cosplays without having fake battles and taking pictures and posing epically. You'd be missing out if you didn't do those things, you know? So yeah, there's a lot of pictures of us here, and I also wanted to make sure you guys remember, well, not to remember, but to let you guys know that there is another video that I'm releasing today, so check that out. Turn to me.